输赢是职业赛场永远绕不开的话题，谁都想成为赢家，但取胜的哲学却不尽相同。是坚持自我更进一步，还是寻求改变重获新生？是昙花一现的意外，还是磨难之后的复苏？
有点大，不过好在的就是这个小兵没有大龙 buff 的一个加成，似乎可以清掉正面想要强势的击杀玉米，被一个回旋的镖收掉了人头。
是把握机会再创辉煌，还是告别遗憾突破自我？
这个针眼的视野来找你来了，
今天很危险，没有进，没有闪现。
走位。
哎呀，还是
这要硬灌死了，硬灌死了。
他这个没有闪现，他这个位置刚说他稳了，怎么走的？
是年轻无畏，天赋至上，还是王权永恒，强者恒强？一切故事的答案，都将由他们亲自书写。
Yet to come. Like summer nights, I'm gonna dance, tell you my name, and I'm free. You should do this here, talk about my day.
Hello everyone and welcome back. It's time. IG is back, baby, and so is Top Esports. We're ready for the semifinals rematch. Coming in, last time it was a 3-1 in favor of Invictus Gaming, but this time there's a chance for everything to change here in the Hongqiao Arena. I am so incredibly excited for this series. We have not seen IG do well since MSI, but they're coming back into form. They're coming back looking better than before. Of course, they will not have Rookie once again. They will have Forge, as you saw. Even Duke is coming in today, making sure he is there as the good luck charm, as he would say. And the coach is getting ready, putting down his notes, seeing exactly what he can do with this team, because ever since Forge has come back in, they had Baolan as well. TheShy even came up and shaped up in the game number 3, and they've been looking so much stronger. But Top Esports, they have not faltered. 3-0 now so far in the regular season in the summer, and we are looking forward to this match, this Clash of Titans. Once again, my name is Matt Niberia Clendaniel, joined here by the lovely Clement Chu. And Clement, let's talk a little bit about IG specifically, because ever since MSI, things have been kind of dicey.
Yeah, they came back and they were dropping series, 2 series straight. We were questioning what was happening with the team. Baolan was nowhere to be seen. And on their fourth series, they finally defeated EDG, this time even without the help of Rookie. So a very surprising comeback. And actually, we prepared a graph to answer the question, what is the trajectory of teams when they come back after MSI? What is their win rate? So the interesting thing to notice right here is that before Rift Rivals, teams that went to MSI actually came back and became stronger in the summer split. It was like an exclusive country club. You would go there and you would learn what stock to buy, who was going to be president next year, what all those things were. But after Rift Rivals, that dramatically changed the win percentages, and teams that went to MSI in both Rift Rivals, they actually came back worse. So the trajectory is not that bright for IG and teams like SKT. The wear and tear is definitely there. But I will also add that any team that went to MSI knockout stages has also represented for Worlds. There has never been an exception to that. So it's not too fast to pull the panic button, but we should expect them to suffer a lot of trial and tribulations. It's not going to look pretty, but they're going to make it.
Well, they've already suffered a little bit so far this split, so hopefully the suffering has ended a little bit here as they come back in. Those are some sad statistics, honestly. But you know what? Enough of those. We don't care about them as much as we do about Invictus Gaming coming into this matchup, because, as we said, Rookie has been away to Korea on an emergency, so he'll be back at some time. But in the meantime, they have Forge. So let's take a look at that. We have Forge coming in as a substitution, and this is something that we had a little bit of concern about when we first heard.
Yeah, Forge is a player that they brought up from their LDL team, has never played in the LPL. That was his debut showing, and he beat EDG, which on paper sounds great, but I would still say he's a bit suspect to early game ganks and stuff like that. If he can hold his own against Knight, I think Invictus Gaming are super happy.
One of the things that Invictus Gaming still have their strength in, they no longer have that super solid rockstar Rookie in the mid lane, but they do have their team fighting intact. They are still able to take down teams with laser-like precision.
you have to welcome back the return of TheShy. He was having a lot of happy games saying that, you know, top lane doesn't affect the game as much as it used to, but TheShy, you've got to believe in yourself. You're still doing great things. You're capable of greatness, and that's what we saw against the EDG series. Game 1, absolute stomp from EDG, but games 2 and games 3, TheShy stole the show. His rise was finally back. He was getting over 40% damage, a 12 KDA game in that one, and he did hard carry IG to a win that nobody really foresaw them taking. EDG were on a roll, and IG looked kind of lost. So IG, you always have to remember, even though I would say Ning is still kind of out of shape, Rookie is not there, they still have enough talent to be a top team in the LPL.
Ning's Camille, though, is absolutely as disgusting as ever, at the very least, as we saw there. But one of the things we have to talk about is how this is going to change their matchup here against Top Esports, because before you had that rock-solid mid lane in Rookie. He is able to take pretty much anyone in the league on. But when you have Forge coming into here, he is a less experienced laner. He held well against Scout, but that is going to be challenged when he goes up against the superstar mid laner of Knight. Top Esports, I would say, their star player, their best player on the team.
Yeah, Knight right now, I think he's the best mid laner in the LPL by far. If you take a look at his stats, he's #1 in KDA, #1 in damage percentage, and he hasn't died a single time in the previous series. He's on a 15 kill streak, which gives you an EMP and I believe dogs as well. So it's absolutely insane what he's doing in these team fights right now, and his variety is also astounding. He's getting solo kills in lane, just 1v1. He's transitioning and playing the side lanes on things like Corki and Aurelia, and he's also doing very good in team fights with these late game hyper picks like the Victor. He's just mechanically a great player, and he has a very unique style. Not a lot of mid laners can actually play side lanes well. We've seen his Corki just go 1v2 in the side lane, beat out people, get a lot of attention drawn onto himself, and it's going to be really hard for Forge. It really is. I don't envy coming into the LPL and the second match you have to face someone like Knight. So if IG can keep that lane safe, I think they're happy for now. What's really going to carry the game for them, I think it has to be Ning and the TheShy combination. If you think back into the playoffs, what really won them that series was just Ning continuously ganking that lane over and over and over again. They had one game where it was 3 kills onto 369's Jace in the early game, and then they had another game where it was 4 kills on the same guy in the early game, and that just totally collapsed what TOP Esports wanted to do. So I think that's going to be the key matchup for IG, but on the flip side, for Top Esports, just go Knight all the way.
Yeah, you have Knight. You have one of the best mid laners mechanically in the league right now. I'd argue, yeah, I'll put him at #2. I think Rookie's still got it somewhere in there.
Okay,
I think Rookie's still got it. He just has not been showing it.
Yes,
is the argument I would put.
In Summer Split, I think Knight's the best.
Oh, in Summer Split, absolutely, Knight is the strongest mid laner. And that's high praise. And I think one of my favorite things about that middle play we saw there, the Victor 1 versus 4. First of all, you take a 1 versus 4, you get out of it alive, but not only do you get out of it alive, you use your first Death Ray to pick up a kill in a 1 versus 4. 1 versus 4, that is 1 versus 4. Just reminding everyone, in case you don't remember the numbers, that's what it looks like. He got a kill, and with the second one, he perfectly CS'd the wave.
That is impressive.
Those are mechanics.
Those are priorities, by the way.
That's right. Those are the mechanics you're going to have to be going up against here if you're Forge, and I feel sorry for him. But on the other hand, 369, one of our youngest top laners in the league at only 17 years old, is going to have to go up against the best top laner in the world, the mechanical god of TheShy for Invictus Gaming.
Now we can see the roster. That's going to be Forge in the mid lane. His second LPL match so far, and we will have Ballan back into the roster. Huge boon to the team. There was a lot of uncertainty, and we did see Lucas actually start for the first 3 series. But now the support that they won Worlds with is finally back on the team.
We've had discussions about this, right? And it's like, Lucas did not play poorly.
No.
He played fairly well. He played maybe not at a world champion caliber, but you can't expect that from a younger player. But Baolan brings consistently. Baolan brings the communication that IG is used to, and I think that's what's important about bringing him back.
Yeah, definitely in this case. And for Top Esports, they always run the same roster and have never changed so far. Oh, well, they sometimes get more in, but 369 has been performing quite well. and also LokeN has been shaping up. He's been in form. I always say that the this floor for this team is LokeN, and the ceiling for it is 369, because LokeN sometimes he's, you know, up and down. He didn't have a great playoffs run, but this split so far, he's been expanding to Kalista. He looks great in the meta. He has a very strong laning phase with Ben, who's been playing a lot of Lux, and I think with that floor shored up, with that floor heightened, TOP Esports look like an incredibly dangerous team.
Well, a lot of people say that the weakness for this team is going to be the bottom lane. It is going to be LokeN and Ben, and it's going to be decided, like you said, that's the skill floor. However, when your floor is getting that high, becomes other teams' ceilings.
Yes.
So, TOP, yes, you can say the bottom lane is the weakest component, but they are not a weak component.
Just giving you an overview, both of these teams are trident teams. They like to win all 3 lanes at the same time. They're that good. However, they have very different approaches to the mid game. If you're on IG, they love to get these fights going, big 3v3s, big 5v5s. If you look at their assist per kill ratio, it's fairly high at 2.3. But on the other hand, TOP, they actually play a much more controlled game after they won their lanes. They do a 1-3-1 split push. They try to strangle you rather than fight every opportunity they get. To me, I have to say, BSYY and TES right now feel like a more disciplined team. It's just about, can they actually outduel the laning portion against Invictus Gaming? And in the playoff series, that answer was a no. So I want to see how this mid-game matchup then shapes up when when TOP actually are on even footing against IG.
Of course, we're looking at it. That is the stats page for Knight, the #1 mid laner right now. 6-0-2 on the Victor, 9-1-5 on the Jace. And like you said, 15 kill streak so far. He is looking unstoppable. And this was something we could do at any point in the season last split. We could pull up our stats, and he'd be #1.
Yeah, and it's just insane that Knight has had this amount of output right now. A lot of times he doesn't even need ganks going in, which is the scary part. He's getting a lot of solo kills just purely in lane. And he's been playing a lot of champions. 7 different champions within 6 games. This man is impossible to ban out. He plays his own meta, and you can also watch him stream if you so choose to. He's a actually fairly prolific streamer. The entire team of Top Esports is. Been having fun with Mordekaiser. I don't think you're ever going to see it. We're not on that patch 9.12, but that's his new love.
I love Knight because he is such a funny person. Just, like, I don't think it's intentional, but you remember you did the face-to-face video. If anyone hasn't seen it, Clement did a face-to-face interview with Knight.
He's very shy, and what he does say in mic checks is hilarious. Usually he's bragging to his teammates in mic checks. Hey, did you see that play? That was amazing. Like, the other team is just like shot calling. It's like, hey, that guy doesn't have flash. Take the tower, finish the game. And Knight's just kind of casually telling you, hey, do you see that? You see that? I got a triple. So he's a very young player. He was the youngest player when he first joined the league. Oh, actually, only a little bit older than JakeyLove. JakeyLove was the youngest when he joined. So he still has that kind of a childish, boyish charm to him when it comes to it. I
think my favorite example of, well, we'll say it's boyish charm, is when you were talking to him about, you know, he's called the golden left hand because he plays with his mouse and keyboard swapped, but he used to just cross over his arms. He was on Suning for 2 splits and nobody told him to uncross his arms. What? Nobody suggested that, and I love that.
PDD asked him to uncross.
He did.
Yeah, PD's like, hey, why don't you uncross? He's like, oh my god, this feels better. But recently, what Knight did say is that he's looking forward to Chovy at Rift Rivals. He's already called him out. They're good friends. They duel each other a lot on the ARAM map.
At least in 1v1s.
Yeah, so he's already made that call out. He wants Chovy's name tag.
But we got the pick bans coming out hard and fast. The first ban going to be the Olaf, of course, there on the side of Invictus Gaming. They know how strong that one is. On top of it, the Silas and the Nico, the other hand of things. Top Esports banning out the Aatrox and the Rise.
Yeah, and this is a draft that I think is much more close to what the top of the meta is going to look like. A lot of these power picks are being taken away. Akali has kind of fallen off. Aurelia has always been a bit of a questionable pick. Now, I think it's mainly going to be for Forge. Forge has only played Bruiser so far in his debut in the LPL, so I do expect that to go to him. But, you know, TheShy obviously could play it as well.
TheShy has a very, very deep champion pool, so have a lot of options here. Top Esports have been looking at this Gragas for a while now, deciding exactly what they want to do with this. It could likely go towards the jungle position if they decide to lock it in, and they do.
Gragas is a huge boost to the champion roster of XX. I think that he is a gank first type of jungler. He likes to get his lanes ahead, a lot of times at the expense of optimal pathing from himself. So something like Gragas that's very strong early, gets Knight, is going to get Knight ahead consistently, is great for him. Teams that really like running Gragas, we've seen Karsa pick it up a lot, and also XX is the second one to go for this gank-heavy approach.
Of course, this game we did not see the Lux being banned out, so that one's going to be picked up there by Ben. And IG respond with a lane of their own. They're going to pick up the Yuumi and the Sivir down and rounding out that bottom lane composition.
So we've actually been seeing a lot of kill lanes coming in from Ben and LokeN. The last time they ran a Lux and Kalista lane, which they're actually going for again, and they do see this as a very strong counter against Sivir and Yuumi. A lot of times, Yuumi, even if you unanchor, you're going to get hit by the light binding, and it gives good potential to just get a one-shot down. The Kalista also, it's really difficult to prevent her from using the Rend. It's almost impossible to spell shield the Rend correctly because it's such a fast ability, and it doesn't give you a channeling. It doesn't give you a channeling animation whatsoever. So it is considered a kill lane and a counter against the Sivir. I'm actually a little bit surprised that IG ran this. Now, this is something that Top Esports did run in the previous set.
Top Esports going to take away the aggressive jungle option there, and that Rek'Sai would give away so much to Ning, so much early pathing. And I like this ban here from Invictus Gaming. We have seen Knight be so incredibly successful on this Jace, both this split and last. Showing good respect to him.
I think Top Esports is coming up with a low-to-the-ground type of composition where there's going to be a lot of ganks, a lot of kills early, and they just want to dominate the game from there. You really don't want them to get a Jace that's almost guaranteed a favorable lane. Actually, he's always just guaranteed a favorable lane. There are no counters to Jace. So taking that away is really smart, and it takes a big part of the early and low to the ground type of compositions that they might be going for. Love the Yasuo ban as well. That's one of Knight's secret favorite champions. Nobody likes to admit it, but he is a Yasuo player. And you can see Ben smiling right here. They're all laughing. I don't think they actually approve of Knight. Now, Knight actually didn't get to play a lot of Yasuo in the previous split. His team thinks it's a little bit too happy of a champion. But you see this with a lot of teams. When the enemy team bans their own mid laner's Yasuo, there's a sigh of relief. It's like, yes, thank you.
Get out of here with that. First Knight, then, first Domi, then Knight getting banned away from their own team. But, of course, that is going to be the Vladimir picked up there for 369. We've seen him be very effective on that previously. Now Invictus Gaming going to figure out their solo lane and their jungle pick at this point. Looks like it will be the Akali and the Xin coming out for Invictus Gaming.
So Xin Zhao is a champion that's very focused on the early game, terrible in team fights, but if you can get an early snowball going, he becomes quite strong. What I'm looking at is really IG trying to match the early aggression coming from Top Esports and at least try to stabilize their mid lane. If a 2v2 happens and you don't one-shot the mid laner, then Xin Zhao is just going to win the fight. He's going to come in, he's going to bully Gragas away. He actually has a very strong matchup with him. Even if you get your entire round of burst down on the Xin Zhao can still win the matchup afterward with his amount of damage. So I like the pick. It's trying to stabilize for Forge, make sure that he's not going to get bullied out that much. And interestingly enough, we're going to see the Knight actually be the one picking up the Vladimir. You're right, most of the time it was actually 369 with the Vlad, but this time he feels safe enough to go against Aurelia in the mid.
How do we expect this matchup to play out? Because we have not seen a whole lot of mid lane Vladimir, either this split or last split.
Yeah, typically the Vladimir doesn't have the best of matchups against the Aurelia. Aurelia has a lot of burst potential, and you also see the Ignite being selected right there. So I expect Knight to have to play this quite carefully. It also gives a good item optimization opportunity for Forge, where he can go for the early Wit's End and just cancel out on the double magic damage incoming from the mid and jungle of Top Esports.
This seems to be concerning then for Top Esports a little bit, because they already had the potential to lose the jungle mid lane 2v2. But now that you've put Knight on that Vladimir, now that you have him with the Gragas, he has that early trouble in the middle lane. Suddenly, Top Esports, it feels like they can't focus onto that middle lane.
Well, I don't necessarily think they're looking at the lane that much. If you look at the entire composition, the amount of burst they have is truly ridiculous. If someone gets caught in the light binding, Vladimir can come up, Gragas can come up, it's all runic builds these days, and instantly delete someone. So the way I'm looking at this from Top Esports is that this is a composition that is very strong in the top side, very strong in the bottom side, and if they can get any of these picks, it's very easy for them to transition that and further their gains on the map. It's more of a pick and burst composition coming in from them, and for IG side, I would read this as more of a 1-3-1. Very safe putting the Sivir Yuumi in the middle portions of the lane. You can disengage with the Xin Zhao and have a Kali and Aurelia take over later in the game.
Now we're getting ready to have the rematch of the semifinals between Invictus Gaming and Top Esports. Game 1 starts now. I think LGD is actually the most popular team today.
Oh, they've always
gotten
the most popular team. They are the TSM of China.
Yeah, but they got all 3 cheers off. You know, most days they don't make it to all 3, but today everyone's really coming out in force to support the teams. But we know that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Invictus Gaming and Top Esports, and both junglers are going to be starting on their red buffs at this point.
Good level 1 scouting from Top Esports. You always want to keep tabs on Xin Zhao. He's one of those junglers that likes to do level 2 ganks quite often. Just with the audacious charge and the knockup, he can bring a lot of hurt into the mid lane. And that's also why you're seeing Vladimir just try to keep the lane close to his own.
Not able to find the level 1 so far. Oh, Top Esports actually looking for the engage there. They're going to get a lot of damage onto Baolan. JakeyLove getting ignited as well. The Ren going to go down. Not going to take out JakeyLove, but chunked significantly.
Yeah, and that's just part of why this is considered a counter lane. You can see the shielding potential from Ben is just so ridiculous early on. Also has the bone plating there as well. Typically, we do see against range matchup, it is the Guardians, and you can go with the shield, bash to get extra auto attack damage as well. And this is going to look like a level 2 versus level 1 gank early.
This is brutal, dude. The level 2 coming in from XX. He doesn't even need to body slam yet. LokeN just walks up and says, yoink, that one's going to be mine. He's going to pick up the first blood, has Hail of Blades as well. Teleport coming back in from JakeyLove, but there's the potential for a repeat gank, I feel like.
I love this lane from Top Esports. Now, this is not the first time they ran it, but they're so proficient with it. They know the trading windows perfectly. Level 1, you walk into the minion wave to get it.
Speaking of trading, TheShy just absolutely taking a monstrous trade over 369. Flash away from XX. He really did not want to be caught by Ning just there.
Yeah, I definitely understood that if Yuumi was able to land the slow, then he was dead regardless. So just flashes preemptively to get out of the situation. Probably should not have stayed for the Crux.
369 going to be backing off once again. TheShy is just bullying him here in this early lane, and I feel like that's not exactly how this matchup should go out.
No, this actually shouldn't happen. There's no doubt in my mind that somewhere TheShy was able to outplay, and this is interesting. He's actually taking the Comet, not what we usually see. Usually it's the Electrocute or the Conqueror is being selected, but this time around just for an extra laning poke potential.
I'm more interested in the secondary runes here as well, because you get the Nimbus Cloak, so additional move speed after you ult plus celerity. So you get a lot more of your passive procs, a lot more of those assassin marks, because you're able to weave in and out of fights so much faster. So interesting pickup here by TheShy. Wonder if this is going to start becoming standard or if it's just going to be a TheShy special.
On 9.11, Akali is no longer such a high priority, especially in the top side, mainly because at later levels you don't get as much energy regen. It's very difficult to get a full 3Q combo down, and this might be one of the ways that TheShy thinks that he'll be able to mitigate that nerf. And so far it's been working great.
Yeah, just really good adaptation coming in from the top laner of Invictus Gaming, and of course, Top Esports is looking for some action in the jungle. They think they've found Ning. He's got Hail of Blades. There's the body slam. There's the slow from the barrel. Ning has the flash still available. He's not ready to use it, but I think that was the wrong decision. 369 picks up a kill.
Yeah, if he hadn't flash, he really needed to get out of the slice and dice from 369, but instead he just holds on to it. I guess that the thought process is that if I'm picking the Xin Zhao, I need that flash for the ganks. If I can't gank anyone, I'm kind of a useless champion, so I'm not even going to save my own life. I'm going to preserve it to forward my teammates.
A lot of damage coming down from TheShy. Even with the Conqueror, 369 is not able to get that advantageous of a trade. TheShy, this is kind of disgusting coming out from the top laner of Invictus Gate. Like, to be frank, this is such a dominant lane coming in from an Akali versus a Renekton.
And the lane positioning is actually great. This is so uncomfortable for 369. He has a pushing wave at 1 extra minion there. There's not much he can actually do here. He has to back. No teleport either.
Forge holding his own in the mid lane as well. However, you did say that this was a bad matchup for Knight, and that in mind, he's doing very well for himself. He's even in CS at this point. Going in for the engage there. Forge has spotted this out. He's trying to land the stun. Knight flashes away just in time from the flawless duet, but Forge walking down has no one to help him but Ning. Look at that on the backside. He's trying to walk up, but Hemoplague has been dropped at this point. Forge goes in a little too early. Not going to be able to find the kill with a Blade Surge.
Yeah, was getting very close. I like how Knight held his distance. There was still a Ignite on the side of Forge and also the Flash, so very smart move there. Flash.
Oh, JakeyLove makes it out barely with his life, but once again, he's been chunked down, and he has very little sustain in this lane, having to pop a biscuit, has the cull, has the refillable potion. He's just gone full sustain, because if that keeps happening, there's no way he's going to survive this lane.
That's a massive trade in the favor of top esports. Flash for Flash on the AD carry. That means the next time Gragas comes into the lane, they're likely both dead. It's very easy to get that E, and a lot of times when you use that ER combo on a Yuumi Sivir, you're going to get both of them.
Now, top esports not going to be able to find the kill just yet, but they are up 10 CS. There's already Cutlass taken down there by LokeN. And if you look at JakeyLove, he's not been able to pick up a single item, a component towards an item even. Just sitting on the Doran's shield and the call. Top lane, a little bit more trading going down. TheShy pops that ultimate. There's the Nimbus Cloak we were talking about earlier. Dominus pops as well, and TheShy knows. Jumps out with the second half of the perfect execution. That was really great timing. 369 going to take 2 tower shots.
He needs to leave his lane now. It's actually still okay. Still has a minion wave to go back and queue towards.
Going to look for the region. Dominus has been expended now. Oh my god, beautiful. Shuriken flip there from TheShy. He's going to go in, try and follow it. Gets the proc on the passive. He's in the shroud. 369 may be able to find it.
Oh!
No! 369 takes it.
Waits out the entire cooldown there as well. I felt like if TheShy wanted to go, he had to go instantly.
Looking for a gank there on Knight. He saves the pool. He knows he's going to be safe. No, never mind. The flash is not enough.
Double flashes there. Instantly in, and that's why Ning held on to his flash. He knew that at least he needed to get one of those lanes ahead. If you're playing on a Xin Zhao, you know you need a hard carry teammate in the later phase of the game where you're just kind of useless. So the decision earlier on playing off, and you can see he actually has a very sizable CS lead as well.
Top esports at this point doing very well for themselves. Both their solo lanes have established a lead at this point.
And we were talking about the ceiling for top esports. It has to be 369. Watching him get a double kill early has to feel bad for TheShy. TheShy was winning every trade up until this moment. He's going in, but 369 unfortunately did get his Q up, landed the W before TheShy was able to get in the shroud, and that was the main point that TheShy kind of miscalculated. He thought he would be able to dodge out on the W. Not the case here. Ning, smart move right there, getting the second hit of the Talon Strike onto a minion, so his third strike would instantly knock up. Very good detail management on his part, and he does get the kill.
TheShy out for blood once again. Up here in the top lane, he's going to look for 369. 369 has already popped the Conqueror, so not going to be able to find that trade just yet as TheShy. He's picked up the Hextech Gunblade, or not the Gunblade, rather the Revolver. It has imaginary Hextech bullets. It's very similar. So he's going to be able to get a little bit of trades with those autos, a little bit more damage with that passive, and that does seem to be the focus of this build for him, just get the passive procs.
I love what 369 did, just went up and blocked the Shuriken from coming in. You take one for the face and you deny 70 gold from your opponent, always worth it to do that. He should be taking over the matchup slightly.
Feels like he's learned what TheShy is trying to do here and is adapting very well to it. Meanwhile, bottom lane, LokeN may be able to pick this one up. Yep, there it goes. Turret plating going to go down to both LokeN and Ben, splitting that one 80 gold apiece. Meanwhile, top esports going to be taking down the first dragon. It's going to be a Cloud, so not exactly exciting. We're not going to be thrilled by this one, but they are going to be able to pick that one up nonetheless at the 9-minute mark.
15 extra CS and full lane priority from top esports. They really want to get that kill onto JakeyLove, but so far he's not pushing out. Great warding position from him. Already with the control ward in the inner brush. So I think if top esports want to try this, I would like to see Xiongqiong just go for a lane gank.
Has the opportunity for it. He's wrapping around the backside. Maybe looking for it. Ning decides that the mid lane is no longer where he wants to spend his time. So he's going to back off towards his Raptor camp as well. And the early game so far, all of this has been going towards the side of top esports. And normally we think of Invictus Gaming as sort of the lane kingdom. You know, this is where they excel. This is where they're going to get their lead. They're going to transfer it into the later stages of the game. They're going to have that beautiful team fighting. But so far, the lanes are mostly going top esports way.
Yeah, I'm just surprised by how well this Comet build is working out for Akali. Typically, we do see Renekton a lot of times picked into the Akali as a lane counter. You can get that Q down even through the Shroud, and most of the time that's enough to just win the matchup. 369 trying to get a bait down.
Look at XX, he's here. The Predator's been procced. TheShy tries to find his way through. There's the perfect execution, but the barrel is going to find him. Beautiful positioning there from XX with that one. And that's going to be TheShy's second death of the game.
Flash Gragas is just the most beautiful thing you could see out of a gank. A lot of times there's geometry involved, there's prediction, and the AoE was just perfect to finish that entire thing off. I have to be honest, Gragas is one of my favorite champions to see in the meta. There's just so much play-making potential that you can do here. And top esports doing for the most common lane swap we see in the LPL. You get the first rake, you have lane priority in the bot lane. Even though you're winning your bot lane, you still swap early into the top side and get going with the objectives.
TheShy going to be having to deal with a 3 versus 1 at this point. The Rift Herald as well going to be going down. Now, Knight might be caught out here in his own jungle. It's going to be the engage here coming in from Ning. Not going to be able to find the knock-up just yet. And Knight going to make it out of that one clean. But however, this top tower is not going to be as lucky as LokeN's going to be able to pick this one up in a few seconds here. Rift Herald powering down. And this is a lot of gold onto the AD carry of top esports.
Yeah, top esports, IG absolutely need this kill here. And oh no.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Ning's in a lot of trouble. The light binding lands from Ben. Crescent Guard not going to be able to do a whole lot. Maybe it will actually. Vanguard's Edge coming in. Invictus Gaming may turn the fight. Knight has gone into the pool, going to keep himself safe. Whoa, that was really close to a kill there onto Ning from the final spark. XX
the ult is almost
looking for
up.
it. Has the ultimate in a few seconds.
It's here.
Body slam ult. There it is, right into LokeN. He doesn't even need it. The damage from the Luden's proc going to be enough. Forge barely surviving. Gets taken down. Baolan, you are not long for this world, my friend. Goodbye to the kitty cat. As LokeN picks up his second kill of the game.
Invictus Gaming just overstayed their welcome so hard. Top esports has the entire river lined up, so they know that IG didn't leave the red side jungle. Instant collapse, only one person on the top lane tower alongside with the Herald. That was perfect allocation of resources and another great timing window for Xiongqiong. Like, how often are you going to get your ult up just during those few seconds? Perfect alley-oop straight into LokeN. And 1 for 8, that's a terrible stat line for Invictus.
Yeah, not going to be having as much success as they were in the EDG series. Let's take a look at this again as Ning gets caught out.
Yeah, they know that they didn't leave, and IG had a slimmer of opportunity to turn this fight around, but unfortunately they don't get any of the stuns from the final chapters. Good dodging from top esports, and this was just unlucky. The cooldown just coming up perfectly for Gragas. Oh, that was such a good position. That was a picture-perfect explosive cast. He gets Forge back into the 3-man. He gets the dying Ning straight onto LokeN. I just love Gragas.
Beautiful Gragas play coming out here from XX. And of course, look across the board. Like you said, 1-8. Top esports has 3-0-3 now on XX, 2-0-0 on LokeN. Those two are going to be the ones that are going to be making the most effect here in this early game. Because 369, for as well as his lane is going relatively to how it was in the early game, he still doesn't have a CS lead. Sure, he has the kills, but CS is not in his advantage. So TheShy is holding on very well.
I think TheShy's just been activated in the previous series. I honestly just feel like it.
Yeah, 52% damage share. That was disgusting.
Yeah, he definitely knows that he has to hard carry this current edition of Invictus Gaming. And I will say a lot of times it has made him play fairly reckless. But he really needs to do it. We don't have another consistent winning lane for Invictus Gaming right now.
Not quite going to be able to win, but going to be able to force 369 out of the lane at the very least from that trade there. And LokeN going to be able to pick up another tower. This is going to be his second personal tower of the game. Now Top Esports are up over 5,000 gold at this point. And how are Invictus Gaming going to come back? Because this is going to be the second Dragon very likely going over to Top Esports at this point. It's a Mountain Drake. That scales so well into the later stages of the game. You have LokeN on the Callista. Suddenly all the objectives feel like they're going to go Top Esports' way.
Yeah, IG, what they need to do right now is they need to get a winning skirmish and just delay the game timer for Top Esports. In the later game, they're actually a very strong team still. If you think about the runes that LokeN is bringing, he's taking Hail of Blades, which just gets outscaled by lethal tempo in these team fight phases. This team is all about just getting that early game lead and trying to hang on to it, try to go to the Baron. But for IG, they do have that opportunity to get a very good side lane push. I don't think Forge has been disrupted much in his champion growth, so he will be a good split pusher against the Vladimir, and they're not necessarily going to have the damage to take him out.
Top Esports going to be looking to push their lead even further. Of course, you look at the turret platings, and so much gold has been funneled down onto LokeN. 880 gold onto the 80 carry of Top Esports. That is so much damage onto this Callista. Believe she's picked up her first item in the Blade of the Ruined King, at the very least. Yep, Blade of the Ruined King and the Runons and the Ninja Tabi. She is sitting pretty with all that gold. And they're going to be able to take objectives. They're going to be able to take fights. It's hard for Invictus Gaming to find a contest at this point.
That item combination is so deadly against Invictus Gaming. Invictus Gaming, they have 3 divers, but you're going to have that Runon's Hurricane, which gives you lifesteal from the Blade of the Ruined King. It's going to be so hard to kill LokeN. He's going to have Guardians. He's going to have constant lifesteal throughout the entire section. This is Top Esports' probably strongest moment on the map, and I would like to see them actually venture into the jungle after they clear these waves.
As you say that, Clement XX is way ahead of you. He's already working his way towards the Invictus Gaming jungle. And now Ben looking for a little bit of vision as well for himself.
Very well set up by Top Esports. They go top where they don't have vision with force, with numbers, and the bot side's completely warded out. So Ning tried to go through the river, try to get a gank onto Knight. Knight instantly just backs out. He knows that he's playing as the weaker side on this map. Doesn't...
That was so close. Both ultimates use Final Spark plus the explosive cast. Nearly kills Balon.
That was the combo I was talking about in the bad pick. Like, Top Esports, once they get map control, they can find picks so easily. They have burst potential from a very long range.
Not going to be able to find the kill on that one at the very least, but they are still hunting. They're still looking for it. 369 and XX putting pressure onto TheShy. Not going to be able to find the stun onto him at the very least, so he's going to stay in this lane for a little bit longer. But Ben is here as well. They need to be careful. I don't think sending Balon up here will be enough to stop it.
Definitely not. Great timing for Ning, though. He has his mid lane pushed up and the 80 carry in sight. So, good time to sneak in a ward. Unfortunately, not going to actually help him much. IG are just too weak to fight on this side of the map, so they're pretty much relegated to wait and scale duty.
Top Esports, though, they have no such concerns. 2 items there for Knight, 2 items there for LokeN. Their 2 carries are pretty strong at this moment. What is TheShy doing going in 1 versus 5? It's taken out.
Sure.
That's a great answer, Clement, because I don't think we're going to be able to find a better one. The 3rd turret being taken down there by Top Esports, and now they have full reign of the map. Baron is not even up yet. It's 1 minute and 45 seconds before that comes up. Same timer on the Infernal Drake there. Oh, they may be looking for a pick here. Ben
come on,
looking
give
for
it.
the binding, not going to be able to find it. Barrel roll into JakeyLove will do a little bit of damage, but not quite the explosive burst we're looking for. Oh, I say that, but here comes the Predator. XX is looking for it. Prowling projectile, not going to land. XX still has the Predator proc. There he goes, the flash in. That barrel does so much damage. 25% of JakeyLove's health.
And he's going to do that every time he has a chance. Flash for flash is just way in Gragas's favor right there. And the interesting thing about why the first one didn't really work out is the sweeper actually caught Yuumi as well, and they couldn't discern if Yuumi was actually anchored. So they actually aimed it at Yuumi. Unfortunate right there, but they could have got a better deal. And this play from TheShy was just kind of weird. I think he assumed his teammates were going to be there a little bit faster, but instead we get an observer close-up take at the TheShy. just dying again. I have to say TheShy has not been having a great split so far. It's actually quite common to see him down by several kills during the laning phase.
Definitely not what we've been expecting from him, because last split he was our top performer. You know, we were all hyping him up. We were talking about #1 top player in the world. I know he still has that in him somewhere, but recently he has been having, as you said, those happy games, we'll say, and it really feels like he's lost that spark that got him to that position. He's getting caught out of position. He's going into fights that he has no business going into, and it's so bizarre to see, I'd argue, the league's best player underperforming so heavily.
Just looking at the composition from Top Esports, another combo they could do is just simply Fate's Call onto send the Gragas forward. That could be a potential way to even get the engage going. So there's a lot of like potential ways that they can just catch you from a mile away without you even anticipating it. It's going to be very difficult for for IG to hold on to their ground, and what I expect Top Esports to do now that they have this many items and the stopwatch onto LokeN is set up for Baron and try to get a pick around this area. Looking at the items, pretty much the only thing that IG can do is just send out the Prowling Projectile to check brushes, but other than that, it's purely face check.
And looking onto the items of Top Esports as well, you have, like you said, the stopwatch on the LokeN, but he's working on a Guardian Angel. Once he gets that, it's going to be so hard to contest this team. XX has his Zonias. Knight has his Zonias. Everyone on this team is picking up the items they need to be defensive against Invictus Gaming. How can they find anything at this point? Their plan was 1-3-1. At this point, they can't even 5 versus 1, it feels like.
Well, they have to try. That's what they're going to do. IG are walking into a death trap right now, but they have no other options.
Ben finds the binding plus the final spark. Goodbye, TheShy. Knight jumps in. He's looking for the damage. Going to be able to find it. Might be able to take down Forge. They will. 2 members down so far for Invictus Gaming. And Knight just continues the barrage of damage against the team of IG. Double kill coming in for LokeN. Finds the Pierce on a JakeyLove and the triple kill for himself. Ning the only one alive, but he doesn't have Flash. He doesn't have Smite. There's no way he'll contest this Baron.
You gotta love the accuracy from Ben. His most played champion, the Lux, he finds a perfect spot on Light's binding onto essentially 2 people with TheShy and Yuumi onto him. I like the idea from IG, you know, you could hide yourself in the Twilight Shroud, but he never even got a chance to react to that. Instantly wiped off, and I have to say, TOP Esports, they've got this game in the bag.
22-minute Baron, 22-minute 11K gold lead. They have 3 dragons to their name. Invictus Gaming have 0. This one should be a shutout from Top Esports. Let's look how they got here.
Multiple flanking positions get him before he even has the Twilight Shroud down. And it's just a follow-up kill from here. Nothing Forge can do. He has to go back and try to fight this. Balon hit again by the light binding. Can't find an anchor in the team fight. The entire team just evaporates before the power of for Top Esports. I really want to see a team try to break open Top Esports composition. They've been running this in so many series where you just look at the Kalista, probably with the best early game AD carry, and paired up with the highest win rate support right now, which is the Lux. Strong lane there. They have a Jason Renekton in the other lanes, and it feels like you can never get anything past their early game. It's so damn difficult.
Now, Top Esports, the Colonel is saying he favors them by 80%, or 92% rather. Clement, I got to agree with him on that one. Top Esports look pretty much unbeatable at this point, 6-0-1. That's not going to be the Guardian Angel there for LokeN. That's going to be the Bloodthirster instead.
Oof. Just even more sustain piling on. He likes to play this frontline style a lot of the times.
369 picking up the Spear of Shojin as well. This is a very scary team fight composition now as well. Before it was just look for pick, look for burst, but now that they have gotten this far ahead, it is look for whatever the hell you want. Because Top Esports, it is so hard for Invictus Gaming to contest them at this point. This could be their opportunity. 369 goes in for the engage on a Ning. They assassinate him before he even has a chance to fight back. There goes Invictus Gaming. TheShy doing his best to try and get the kill back, but they're not going to find it. Top Esports get the ace, and this should be the game number 1 going down to TES.
Nothing Invictus Gaming could do right there. LokeN stays full health through the entire fight, takes all the damage from TheShy. Doesn't even matter. Double sustain items, plenty of targets, and the shielding coming in from Lux. Top Esports get their revenge for the semifinals. An absolutely dominating performance. 369, he had that solo kill on TheShy. It didn't look good for him in lane most of the part, but he did outplay TheShy in that instance. And IG drafted themselves, walked into the kill lane that Top Esports has been dominating on. You cannot play Sivir Yuumi against Kalista Lux. We've seen that multiple times now. You have to adopt. And I have to say that this is a bit on Coach Karam. He does need to think up a better drafting strategy. Top Esports were giggling and laughing as they got the draft, and no one has been able to break this composition.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at it. You think the Vladimir's for 369. You think maybe the Renekton's for 9. It doesn't matter. They're able to get those leads ahead. They're able to get the advantageous matchups, and you give that kill lane, like you said, over to LokeN and Ben, a level 2 gank from XX, and everything from there just kept snowballing because Invictus Gaming could not find a way back into this game.
Yeah, it definitely was the case, and I don't think Ning had enough of an impact. The 2 plays that he did make in the top side were both quite disastrous. One time just losing his life to the priority of the Renekton, and another time getting caught on TOP's side of the river. So he really needs to play safer, and he really needs to get those snowballs going. For IG, I think their strategy was quite cut and dried. You just want to snowball for TheShy, snowball for Forge, and hopefully get that 1-3-1 phase going. Unfortunately, the early game collapsed far earlier than they expected to. 8-1 before the towers even go down, and you don't really see a chance to come back from that.
And Top Esports, to their credit, it's not just about the fact that Invictus Gaming let them get that far ahead and didn't find the way back. It is that Top Esports choked them out. They did not give an opportunity to get back into that game. They were rotating for tower after tower, objective after objective, and finding everything that they were looking for.
I just love this composition. This is not, I'm saying this, repeating myself over and over again, but if you can think of a composition that counters this, please give it to us. The recipe for it's very easy. You pick Renekton, you pick Kalista, Lux, and you just have Gragas, which ganks so well into any of these lanes. If anyone's low, go through the lane, kill them. It's very hard to detect, and you just keep that snowball going over again. Lux plus Gragas in the later phases of the game also has the same effect. It's very easy to get picks with this, and it becomes this suffocating scenario where the enemy just keeps on giving you things, giving you jungle, giving you tower. Great poke composition as well. So I really don't see how you deal with this. It's so difficult to break, and props to Top Esports for essentially figuring it out.
Well, then it has to come down to Invictus Gaming, right? Because TOP, they know what works for them. They know what's been working well for them. But for Invictus Gaming, how do you recover from a game like this? Because it doesn't feel like it is just as simple as, oh, that was all the draft. Because to be fair, TheShy in the early stages of the game was winning a lane that he by all rights should have been losing.
Yeah.
And then he started making these bizarre plays. He would go in 1 versus 3. He'd go in 1 versus 4. He keeps getting picked off. And it feels like just Invictus Gaming are falling apart.
I think the synergy between Ning and the rest of the lanes is still not there. It's still very apparent that the magic that TheShy and Ning had when they had their playoff run, and they were getting, I believe it was like Ning never, as long as Ning did damage to an enemy laner, he always got the kill for his lane. That was how effective Ning was with TheShy. That combo was so deadly, and the 2v2 was uncontestable. The reason that people always try to gank JakeyLove is they couldn't win the 2v2 in the top side, but that synergy has really been broken in this summer split. TheShy and Ning, they seem to be playing on different phases at this point, and unless that is remedied, I don't really see this current situation improving for IG. If you look at their draft, they're showing their bot lane early, so it's reasonable that they're going to get countered out, and then they're having TheShy with the counter pick trying to make plays in the top side, and if that doesn't work, then what side of the map are you actually winning anymore? It's just feels kind of lost.
Invictus Gaming not looking up to their finals performance, not looking up to their world champion performance. We'll see if they can bring it back as we come to a game number 2 in just a few minutes.